Uh, doesn't it feel great? Doesn't it feel great? Awesome. Marvelous. Amazing to be alive today. If not, then if you stick around and long enough with the rest of the Awakened Elite tribe, you might get there. And it won't be one of those things where it's like it only happens like once in a while, like 2 days a week, where you're just feeling like amazing, in state, just flowing with life, feeling like yourself, like you're comfortable in your body. No big deal. It's like an everyday thing for the top guys at the top of the Awakened Elite tribe. That's not what we're here today. I want to tell you a little bit about what's going on right now. Right now, there's something going on that you might not be aware of, but it's making its way very, very slowly, very in a sneaky sort of way. People are starting to wake up. Wake up because of the availability of knowledge that is around, thanks to the internet, thanks to Steve Jobs. What a guy. Should have met him. One of my homies. Maybe not, but maybe he was. Anyways, so what I wanted to talk to you about today was something that I noticed a while back. This was back when I was in art school, before I got kicked out of art school. Before I started studying psychology and philosophy and mysticism. Actually, no, that was the beginning of my study. When I was in art school, that's when I started to really get into Zen Buddhism and mysticism and yoga and philosophy and psychology, and that's what I was working with. And I figured that the reason why we haven't basically evolved from our caveman days is because we're stuck in the mind. That's right. You're being guided through your mind. An interesting thing that I came upon, I think it was around that time, was a guy named Dumvalo Melchizedek, who's talked about the mind and the heart. And something that I've seen all the way through, like a string of continuity, is the message to go back to the heart. Because if you think about it, I've studied the physiology of the brain and a little bit of the physiology of the body, but you don't have to be like a psychologist, a psychiatrist, to know that if you take part of the brain out, you can still live, you can still function. You might not have a certain aspect of yourself, but you're still going to be able to function. You can take a whole half of the brain out, and you could still function. But take one part away from the heart, and the whole system dies. You will die. And it just goes to show you that the power of the mind is great, is awesome. But the heart is really a more primordial place. It's a more essential place of life. The mind is divided and the heart is united. So for a while back, I also heard something very interesting that was in a sound class in art school, where when I was going back to ACAD, when I was going there, and what I heard was that someone mentioned that the Third World War was to get to know, like, whoever won the Third World War was the one who got ownership of our minds. It wouldn't be over resources, over riches. It would be over people's minds. And it just hit me. Holy shit. This thing that we have here is powerful, but it can also be the enemy. So I saw the mind, for the longest time I saw the mind as the enemy, and I thought I should get to know the enemy. After I got kicked out of art school and I went through like a whole like big depression, like severe, like almost killing myself depression, I figured that I had to get to know the mind, because in the art of war it says you have to know your enemy better than you know yourself. You have to be one step ahead of your enemy. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get to know the mind. So that was part of why I got into psychology. And also, after I got kicked out of art school, that's why I went into psychology. Not just because I had gone in before I got into art school, but also because I wanted to keep on learning, so that I could know the enemy and be one step ahead of him. And that's part of what I've been doing research, because that's the revolution. The revolution isn't outside of yourself. It's not big amount of people coming together. That's a tiny bit of it. Because look at all the other revolutions. What has happened? Where are we? Is this still not imperialism? Is this still not Rome? I actually was gonna do a piece, but an art piece, but that is based on that. But you'll probably get to see that next year after I'm done probation. But what I've realized is that the real, true revolution happens inside, because the outside just reflects what the inside of each individual is like. People are divided within themselves, and that just manifests itself into the division in politics, in Catholicism, in Buddhism, in all these other things that like just are unnecessary. Because once you know the key to the kingdom, that's all you need. The key to the kingdom is inside. There's a Taoist story that goes talks about a man who lost his keys, and he was looking ever around in his house, and it started to get dark, and he noticed that there was the street lamps outside made it brighter outside, so there was more light outside. So he started to go outside and look, and he was there for hours, frustrated. And his good friend came by, and he was like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "I lost my keys. Could you help me look for them?" So yeah, the friend was like, "Okay, I got a bit of time. I'll help you look." After an hour or so, the friend asked the man who lost the keys, "Where did you lose the keys? Where do you remember the last time having it?" Well, and the guy thought to himself, and he was like, "Well, last place I remember having them was inside, but there was so much more light out here that I figured I'd have a better chance of looking here outside." So we can spend a lot of time looking for happiness, love, all these the true gifts of life outside of ourselves by gaining all these material things. But the true key, the true gate to the kingdom is inside of yourself, is within yourself. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about today, because that's part of what's going on right now. This is what I'm starting to do, and this is what this new product that I'm going to be putting out to the public is all about. I want to give people ownership, command over their mind. I want to give you the power that is your birthright by claiming first your mind, and then using your mind as your ally. Not your enemy, it's your ally. But you're going to use it from the heart. The heart is going to command your mind. But you're not at that place yet. Let's be honest. But if you stick around here with the Awakened Elite, this tribe of badasses who are not satisfied with what's going on around everywhere around them, and they have higher standards for themselves because they know they can bring their most true and authentic gifts to the world. And that's what I want to help people bring to the world. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. Hope you enjoy the rest of the day and keep on finding out, enjoying life. And if you don't quite have that one, just go back to the videos on the jaw and relaxation ripple effect. And I'm actually gonna. The other day I stumbled upon this like little trick to get you into that like relaxed state of mind where you can truly start to notice and widen your awareness. But I'll make a video tomorrow about that. For today, that's enough, because I gotta get going on some other stuff. Do some last minute touches on the product that I'm talking to you about. Yeah, enjoy. Have a good one.